let's see if this can all work. I think it can. Desktop audio? Are we good? I think we might be good. I don't know. But let's see. Okay. Okay, that's the charge. Charge. And yeah, insufficient. Cool. Hold on, everyone. Show me how crazy it was, TikTok. Wow. Oh, everything went so down in the market. It's crazy. I don't care. We figured that out. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. I think that's everything. Should be everything. But who knows? Hey, how are you? Oh wait, my reference is in the way. Can you hear me? It took a long time, but I've been trying to get the audio right. Oh wait, hold on. That's good enough. So I'm trying to go for another conquest. I didn't like the first one. Well, I did like the first one, I did. But I want to just do solid lines because I've realized doing like good, solid digital lines is hard for me. It doesn't really work. So we're going to try and use the same setup now as before. Just a multiply. I'm just going to go in between the dark and the light and we're just going to draw it up. But what I want is just have enough down that when I draw it, I can like see what I'm going for. So the thing that I find kind of interesting about this, that with this, it's not really important what I'm getting down here now. It's just me trying to get the right shapes and just the right angles. I think it should be about there. It's got really giant traps. So now I'm just kind of feeling out the form of what I want it to be. I'm not really, what's the right word? I'm not caring that much, but I want to get it really quick. I want to get it down quick enough that like it can just flow, and then when I put the lines over it, it'll be alright. So I'm trying to really rush that initial part where I'm just blocking down the shapes. What's happening, people? Where am I? Okay. Ooh. I feel the lag a bit. Let's see where the peck will be. Yeah, I think that could be okay. I'm not 100% sure. I think it may be even pulling back a little bit more. Because I know sometimes when it comes to this shape, I make things too big. And it doesn't fit right. So I'd rather it be too small. Because then if it's too small, then at least we're good. I was wondering, my TikTok people, can you hear me? I don't know what that's saying. But let's... Well, I know, going live on multiple things, it pushes my laptop to the end. I'd say that's kind of okay now. But what I'm gonna do... Oh, is this the right layer? Oh wow, I put it as a normal. It should be a multiply. Okay. So now I'm just gonna go into white. And I'm just erasing out the stuff that I don't really want. And then flipping back in between them. So it's just literally, I'm using a multiply and I've just set it to white and black. And then I'm just quick cutting between the two. And I'm just going to use that to mold out the shapes. But what I really want, I just want enough that it can read to the point where I can just draw over it. And just be pretty cool. So I'm trying to, hey people, can you hear me okay? So what I'm trying to do now is basically just break up the three shoulders. He's got crazy, I want to give him crazy traps. He just has crazy traps. Should be like up to there, man. Raising that shoulder up a little bit just to make him big. And then now, I've got a reference. And now I'm just kind of just trying to fill out enough that I can make it read and then it can work. I'm trying to not get bogged down in any details for it. Because this is just an underlaying for a drawing, so it's not really... It doesn't have to be the craziest of, like, preparations, I guess. And the thing I'm trying to do, I'm trying to use as big a brush as possible. Because I notice when you use bigger brushes, it can, it makes it a little bit harder to get the details down. But you can see the overall shape. And then when you get the overall shape, you can just do different things to it. Hey, what's happening, man? How's life? How are you? How's the journey? Okay. Maybe a wider jaw? Gonna drop down the bottom mouth. Yeah, there we go. So now I'm only really thinking about the shape. No details, nothing like that. But I think this might be enough that now I can do it. I'm not sure. So just zoom in a bit. Maybe zoom in a bit more. Yeah. So now just dropping the brush size down. Let's do 45 should do. And now we're just gonna do the whole thing again. Part of me feels like I should really look at reference for conquest, but I don't want to. Guess trying to make it just a little bit harder on myself. Nah, more like a down brow there. That's better. What's happening, everyone? Hey, my TikTok people, can you hear me okay? Okay, so if that's the case, pull that back. Now I just want to put in the mouth. He's got... Okay. And then now it's just to... Yeah, and then I'm just pushing it back. I don't know if this is enough for me to now go crazy with it, but I feel it could be. I'm not sure. What do you think? I'm thinking maybe shrink the head a little bit. I think it's too big. And the thing is, when you do heads too big, the body kind of messes up. It doesn't fit the right proportions. So pull that, shrink that down, yeah. And then a little bit forward. I think that's enough for me to go with. Hey Julie, how are you? Can you hear me? Is the audio okay on the TikTok side of things? Thanks for the likes. I guess it works. So what I'm gonna do now, because I like this enough, I'm just gonna lower it right down. Not all the way down with the opacity, but just enough that I can just about see it. Like that. Oh, the audio's clean. Thank God. Do you know how long it took to figure out how to do the audio on TikTok? Jesus, it was echoing for time. The views were down. I thought no one loved me anymore. But I'm glad I got it fixed. You have to, if anyone's going live, on desktop, how I fixed it, you got to go into the sound mixer and you have to mute TikTok. Otherwise, it gets echoey and it sounds weird forever, and I don't know why. But this is crazy because I got everything else up. I don't have a spare screen to look at reference. So, you know what I'm gonna do for fun, just for like, I've got reference I took of myself in the pose, so I'm just gonna draw it, just based on what I remember of the character, bro. I think I know enough about him. So now I'm gonna flip through all my crappy brushes that I've downloaded from God knows where over the years. And I'm going to look for one that I can draw with, and we can see how this works. Let's pick... There's a classic cartoonist brush. Let's see if this works or does anything reasonable. I think it should. Oh, that's a bit too much. Oh, there we go. Oh, and the brush is clean as well. Okay, new layer. And now I'm just trying to, because I see a lot of people, artists, they do like really clean lines. And that's what I'm trying to do now. It's not really anything that I'm kind of fully great with, but yeah, I think this brush is okay. Oh wait, hold on. Let me make it a little bit smaller. Because when I'm painting, usually I'm used to going for like bigger brushes, but because I'm trying to ink this, a smaller brush just makes sense. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do now? Oh, I'm streaming on YouTube and Instagram right now. Yeah, Jordan, it's the guy from Invincibles, Conquest. So I'm just trying to get the look, just kind of as cool as I can get it, really. I'm in a weird place now where I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. But I guess it's just kind of, what's the word? I won't say trusting the process, but there we go. I think maybe the nose is a bit too much. I'm not sure. Thanks for all coming, man, and saying chill. What, Alex, you haven't finished Invincible? I would say Conquest monologue. It's one of the best monologues, villain monologues in a good while. It even got me to start reading the comics because I was like, I can't wait for like a next series. I was like, tell me what's happening. think it's really cool how he actually got the scar. We're gonna figure it out over time. Whoa, my laptop for some reason is not charging. Did I not plug it in? Wow, I forgot to plug it in. Hold on. There we go. Hey, you're in Japan. How's it? I've heard good things. Okay. So what I'm really kind of doing, I'm using I'm pretty much trying to use everything I've got down so far. Okay. I like this brush. This brush is actually alright. And what am I doing? Yeah, just put the other eye. He doesn't have giant eyes. I don't want him to have like massive ones. Something like that would do. Yeah, no, his mustache is like right under the nose. And I think after I do this, I'm going to color the lines. And I'm going to try and just go for a shell shaded one with this one. I wish I used this brush more often or found it sooner. You know, you got so many brushes, I'm like not that serious with it. Oh, it's not Omni-Man, it's a Conquest. Yeah, there we go. Just blocking the teeth. I think that's okay. And then now, oh, the scar, how he got it. I know. I started to read the comics. I started reading it today. Let's just say there's a big bad universe out there, and there's some people he had a bad time with. And then we're just doing this part here. But how's everyone doing today? I really like this brush. now it's just literally put in the receding hair. The thing I'm liking about this brush is I do like how the pen sensitivity works. And again, this is another one of those weird times where I thought this would be a lot. I thought it would be harder than it's turning out to be. Yeah, I think that's okay. Is that okay, everyone? What do we all think? Yay, nay? Okay, now Battle Beast. No, it was not Battle Beast. And Battle Beast has an interesting story as well. Like, not that deep, because it's just like a beast of battle, but it's a good story. But I know the thing is, in the comic, you don't get the same feel in the show of like the human casualties and the losses. The comics still seem kind of, I'll say, lacking in that department. I'm not saying like the show's bad or anything, like the show. But in the comic, there's not that, oh wow, these lot are really causing the deaths of so many people. Alright, so now I'm just trying to separate the three heads of the shoulders in a way that works. There we go. And now, just to get the tricep. But sometimes it's good, like, you don't want some of your lines to just end on the borders. It makes it look weird. It makes it look like the drawing is kind of, well, I find it makes it look like I'm trying to contain it within a space. And it can affect badly how the thing reads. So, there we go. He has an O on his chest, doesn't he? I don't remember. I know he does, but I don't know. I don't remember that off the top of my head how it looks. So I guess I'll figure it out. We'll just do. I'll do something. I'll do something. Anya, how are you? I'm doing a night shift tomorrow, so I've got a lot of time I can stay up. I should. You know what's crazy? I went to the gym the other day, and I've just been hungry ever since. I've ate a large amount today, but every fiber of my being saying, Kieran, grab a kebab, man. Go. Why not? But I know I shouldn't. I'm trying to be healthy. Yeah, man, get on Invincible. Invincible, it bangs. I think it's a good, like, comic book adaptation for a good show. Well done. It's better than, what's it called? Umbrella Academy. Umbrella Academy was terrible as a show, but the comic was alright, which made it even kind of weirder for me. So I was like, why is this so crappy? Okay. thing I like about this brush though, the lines are kind of it feels smooth. It's kind of unforgiving, but I have control. And I like that. No, that line's crappy. Control Z. Hey, history, it was 1 mark, man. There we go. I'm just drawing in the abs. The thing I find really, I don't find difficult now, but I used to find difficult. And I think it's always good to make sure you're watching out for. Make sure just like some of the lines that the perspective of the whole body, it kind of runs the same way. Because sometimes when I draw things, the perspective, like especially the horizontal, the vertical angles, great. But the horizontal angles, often for me, they can be messed up. They don't work. And it's only like after I'm done and I try and make it read or I look at it, I'm like, oh, you missed out there, you missed out there. So it's kind of important to just kind of do what you do, but kind of see the whole overall image at the same time. That's why I like the warp tool. I like the warp tool. I know a lot of people use liquify on Photoshop, but to me, the warp tool, it just does enough. See, you can just change the shape. Just to how you want it. So now, I'm trying to think about the muscles on his forearm. It comes down to like here. And the striations on his hands are very much guesswork. But it is what it is. I just want to do a nice little drawing. We're going to do Conquest 3 in the morning, because I'm going to sleep for a night shift. But I'm whipping out the gouache and the watercolor. And we're going to start painting. It's time, man. I can't be scared of that for so long. Okay, now. Ooh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do on his body where she blasted him. So I'm going to say most of his torso. Now the thing is, because if we're doing that, I'm thinking, because for the muscles, you do a lot of striates. What's the word? Like strains for the muscles, so which can add a lot more lines, just to show that this is like his muscle and where his skin's been taken off. But the thing is, I'm trying to make sure that all the striation, like all these striation marks, run with, well, I wouldn't say the anatomy, but what I know of the anatomy. I don't know much. I don't know much, but what I do know, I'm going to kind of put it into the muscles. Yeah, I'd say the traps roll over. There we go. Now that muscles in the delt. One thing you gotta know, the shoulders, they split into 3 heads. thing I'm going to find interesting about this, we're going to get interesting when it gets to the colouring. Because we're going to see... We'll see what I can do. Because from reading the comic, I like it has a very confident 3D cell shaded kind of style to it. So that's what we're going to go for. And I'm just using the stroke marks of the muscles to wrap around the forms. Just to give it some more three-dimensionality to it. Now I'm just wondering, where do I want the light source to be? But if we drop that out. Hold on, let me. Yeah, that's better for the TikTok people, for the Instagram people. I don't know if I even have any YouTube people. But I don't know. So now that we've done this, and I'm cool with the lines. I think I'm alright with this. Wait, hold on. Yeah, this is too low. So we'll add some new layers. We're gonna put the line on top. Now to make this quick, because I want speed. I want to get better at speed. I'm just gonna use the lasso tool. And what we're gonna do, I'm gonna do a mask of everything first, the outline. That way, when it comes to dropping in the colors, it's a lot faster. I used to try and draw all the inside in, or like use the paint box tool after I've done an outline in the brush strokes. I just find it longer. Because with this, you can just add and subtract from the selection. So it doesn't have to be a crazy long process. Because that's my biggest problem. My biggest problem is masks. Masks and organizing layers. Oh, and just generally drawing. But with the lasso tool, I can just add and subtract from the selection pretty easily. It helps out. So now just add in, trying to get this little bit of hair right. Boom, the shoulders. Shave that down just a little bit. Okay. It's not the funnest part, but from time I've noticed, if you organize the process well, sometimes I'll get lost later on, and then next thing you know, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what the layers are. I don't know what I'm thinking about. It gets long. But when you just mask it and just name layers as well, naming layers is really important. These are all just the flashbacks of me not managing things right and me remembering how it's like. What color now? Let's put a skin color on him as a base. As the base? Does it need to be? Well, we'll see. We'll see. Hold on. Let's drop this in. Boom. Okay, I think that's a good color for him. So what I'm going to do now, see now this is the layer. I'll go into the folder. I'll select it. And then I'll make it a mask for the whole folder. So everything that goes in the folder is not going to go outside of these outlines. So this is the base. Now we're just going to add stuff for the moustache, eyebrows. we're just going to fill in everything. Oh wait, hold on. Window, history. I was thinking one day I might try Procreate. Does anyone use it? Is it good? Because I see so many artists on it now and I'm like, something new. And I think I'm just a dinosaur. I'm kind of set in my ways. I learned Photoshop and I was just like, yep, that's it. Okay. And that's the hair by the ear. I'll take all of this. And the thing is, when it's done, when the flats are done, I'll fix all the outlines. Boom. Wait, let's change the color a little bit. I just want to change it from the background. Maybe add a little blue to the gray. How do I feel about that? Yeah, I think that's better. And sometimes in the folder, it's good to put things that are on top of other things. So as you layer it, it's easier to kind of not have to make sure every single part is exact. Right now I want to just... I'm going to color in the flats now. So we'll just do this hard round. 100%, just so I can get the line. I just want to fit it in as quick as possible. Hey, Elsa, how are you? I'm Kieran, I draw stuff, paint stuff. Try and relax with it. The real work's going to come in, everyone, once I start doing shell shading. Because that's when I'm just going to kind of... not go crazy, but push myself a bit. Yeah, there we go. Now, what color do I want his muscles to be? I think should be kind of ready, but not like crazy. Let's try this. And that's the thing as well with the flats, because if you don't like them, you can use adjustment layers just to shift the hue and the saturation of them. I like to do that sometimes. Okay. I didn't do this edges that tight, but I just wanted to see it, just so I could drop the color in. And just see how it would look. Yeah, I think that's good. So now, we just take a lighter pink. Just for the tongue and the inside of the mouth here. Do one more layer just for the yellow eye. You created a drawing app? Yeah, hey, put it in the comments, DM it to me. If you want me to try it out, I'll try it out. I don't mind. I like new things. New things can be interesting. Okay, so that's the eye. Now I'm thinking... Now I'm just thinking about the edges. We're just going to clean up all the edges for this. Then after that, it'll be cool. So now that's all I'm doing with this brush now. I'm just going over certain parts. And I'm just going to sort it out pretty much. Slim it down. There we go. Where's the eyebrows? This one. Okay. There we go. So what I'm doing now, thanks for the follow. What I'm doing now, DM me the app as well. I'll use it. I'll let you know what I think as well. I don't mind. So just filling out the moustache. And I'm thinking right now about lighting setups and how I want the colors to bleed through underneath the skin. So that's what we're gonna do after this bit. Yeah. Hold on, X. Fill that out. Kreska.art. Okay. What does Kreska.art do that could be different from what all the other ones do? I don't know. Do you have like brushes on it? Browser based. No installation needed. Ooh. Okay. I'll definitely check it out. How long did it take you to make the app? Did it take a while? I can imagine it's a long process. Right. In my ignorant mind, I think it is. It must be. Black. So now I'm just even adding and just going over the details of the mask. Just to make sure it's okay. And then, yeah. Okay. I think it's going pretty well so far. Years. Jeez. You must have been really passionate about it. Take a look now. Not right now. I'm in the middle of doing this. But promise you I will. After this is done, I'll take a look at your thing. I definitely will. So now the only thing I'm trying to do now is just clean up the edges. And after the edges are done, what am I going to do after the edges are done? What am I doing after that, people? I'm going to... I know what I'm going to do. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Give me 1 sec. I think this is, if you go into my page, you'll see another one that I did of Conquest. Conquest 1.0. I think this is better so far. And it's strange because I've not looked at any reference at all for the character for this. Well, I did. I took a picture of myself with a facial expression and kind of an angle and a pose. And I'm just kind of going off of that. But it's crazy because where the mirror is, the lighting is right behind me. So I'm going to have to... I'm going to make up a light scheme for it. If anyone's got suggestions of where the light should be coming from, let me know. I'm always cool for suggestions. Yeah, that's good enough. So now what I'm going to do... Oh, the sound's echoing. I thought the sound was good. Someone said it was clear before. Hold on. One of the speakers. Hold on. Sounds echoing. But I swear, before someone else said, hey, the sound is clear, is clean. How do I do this? Volume mixer. Oh. Is that better? Illuminated. Is that better? Can you hear me? No? What? What's wrong with TikTok? I'm serious about this app. Why can this thing not just work? Every time I'm trying to do audio, the thing just acts weird. Hold on, I turned it down. Is that better? Can you hear me now? Audio effects? Do I have any audio effects? I don't think I have any audio effects. What? Equalizer, vocal enhance, mic hog, megaphone. No, because when I've been doing it on the TikTok, I pushed testing, and it's mad echoey. I had to Google it and look it up, and I was just like, what are we doing? Equalizer. Should the equalizer be equal? Should it have a smooth curve? I don't know what this means. Should I put less reverb? Oh, reverb. Echo and depth. Enabling this will deactivate the template. So hold on, let's take that off then. Testing, testing. It's not on my phone. I'm doing it on my laptop. But I've turned off the reverb. Is the reverb better now that it's gone? Okay, sorry about that, everyone. I didn't know for some reason it had reverb on. So I was just like, well, I don't know what that is. But if you can all hear me now, that's cool. So what I'm doing now, in the same layer, I'll make a couple more layers. I'm going to just use... I'm going to use like an airbrush with opacity low. And I'm just gonna use this to just add some variations of color to his skin. So first, I want to get some underlying pinks for his flesh, especially now that he's been beaten up. So let's set it to, what should we set it to, people? I'm gonna use a hard light. Yeah. And I just want to add this to the places where the blood's gonna flow to his skin. And the thing I like about it as well, before you do stuff like this where you're doing cell shading and stuff, it's good to have variation in color. So Windows history, pull this back because the lag. But the audio is actually good now. I'm so happy, man. Because kept thinking, I was like, I was not even going to do this on TikTok. I was going to draw instead. Because I'm like, when I draw, for some reason, when it's through my phone, everything's fine. Okay, so now that's done. But I want to change the layer. So Control U. Hue saturation. Sometimes I just like to play with it. Let's just see where I actually want it to be. A bit darker. Boom. And then now I'll just play with the opacity as well, just to push it back a little bit more. And now, just for underneath his eyes, I don't know what artist I saw do this, but sometimes with under the eyes, if you just add a desaturated color to it, you get a cool, it comes a cool look like this, kind of. Oh wait, it's a normal layer. Multiply. Okay. Now to change the color of that, because sometimes my eyes are a bit funny. Yeah, there we go. No, dark. Boom. There we go. Now I'm getting to that point where I'm getting lost in the layers. That's not good, but we'll figure it out as we go. And now with this brush, it's just, I'm just using it to just add variations to the color in the muscles. So I'm going to pick the color there, and I'm just going to change the hue and the pitch. Just the hue, really. Just to add some variety. Big brush. Boom. And all it does, it just stops it being, when you work it up, it stops that flatness. It gives it a bit more, it will give it more variation. So add in some reds. I like that. Just on top of it, some purples, just to show like bruising and injury, but yeah, there we go. Oh wait, hold on. Boom. Hold on. Yeah. Because that's the thing, with the purple, I just like that it's now... It looks like he's kind of messed up. So soft light as well, just to change it a little bit. Put some oranges in. Oh wait, hold on. Scroll that over the wrong side. Because this orange is so punchy though, I'm gonna push it back. Okay, now I'm just thinking about where is the light source coming from. It's gonna be... I think I'm gonna have it coming from the right side here. So what I'll do now... Real nice neutral light blue. I'm gonna put in a multiply layer. And then now I'm just gonna pretty much use a flat because I'm not gonna render this. That's the one thing I know I'm not gonna do. I'm not rendering it up to be a big full thing. I don't want to do that. We're gonna just do it nice and shell shady. So this is just gonna be the first dark pass. So if the light's coming from like this way, yeah, see? And then the under eye. You see how that works? I think that works. Everyone, are we happy with this? I'm good. Okay, now just the head shading. I'm just putting that on the scar so I know I'm going to add some purple to it because that's the thing that's missing. See, that's what I like. See, you just add some light in, and then suddenly everything can kind of change. And then pretty much this is all I'm doing. I'm just using a multiply. And I'm just filling in everywhere that I think the shadows are going to fall. One thing that's really important though, when you're doing shadows, I realized this when I first started digital painting. The key is not to just put everything on like the left side and then all the lights on the right side. You've got to kind of view it three-dimensionally. it helps with making the image read, and it will all kind of, it'll come together better. I'm just trying to think where on this cheat bit. I just want a little bit. And the thing is, when I get to doing the lights, and then when I do the reflected light, you're going to see it all just kind of layer up together. But thank you for everyone for coming and helping me figure out the TikTok audio. I don't know why as a setting it automatically has reverb on. I don't understand how that works. Let me see. Ah, the lag. The lag has affected my laptop. Hold on. It's just spinning, spinning. Still spinning. Boom. Alright, let's zoom out. Don't have to be crazy zoomed in. Okay. Multiply. Yeah, I'd say multiply. Yeah, you need it. It just does the way it darkens the layer and the way you can work through it. I think you need it. You could use a darken maybe, but I just think multiply would just work better. Like it just the way it flows. Yeah, I'll say a multiplier there would be a good thing. Also, selective color layers. That was the. I think that's the one mind-blowing thing on Photoshop that when I found out there was an artist, Dave Raposa, he had a Gumroad. I bought it. When I found out with selective color layers, blew my mind. I was like, okay, this is a game changer. So you see how this multiply now, just with the blacks as well. Suddenly everything is just kind of. You can see like the 3D shapes coming out. Which is what I was going for. Hold on. Let's... now I'm making these shading lines a bit more jaggedy just because I want it to really give his whole body this kind of texture that I want in the muscles. So I'm not really... Oh, thank you. So I'm not really going through it in a way where I want this to be super smooth on the muscle bits, because I want it to seem like his fibers are going crazy and he's having a rough time with it. There we go. I think that's better. Now, just overall... Yeah. So now we're just doing all the striations on the muscles to make it go with the lighting. How long has it been? Hour and 10. Okay. I've set myself a new challenge though with digital stuff. It's 2 hours. 2 hours on the clock, because my digital paintings always, for some reason, I don't care what it is I'm doing, it's like I've got a habit of it being 4 hours. And sometimes I'm like, it doesn't have to be. And I've noticed even when it comes to like the complication of the thing I'm doing, it doesn't make a difference. So I'm trying to be really on board with the time. Because I think if I try and get quicker, well, one of the good things is I'll get quicker. And also I'll be able to do more, get better faster, and just, I think, enjoy the vibe more. Okay, so now just doing the under chin here. So the light is coming from that side. It's definitely going to be in shadow here. There we go. Let me get a bigger brush. I don't know if I'll say this is exactly the Shell Shady style I wanted, but because it's like a thick brush that's solid, I'm going to say it counts. Mainly just because I want it to, but hey. It's going alright so far. Okay, so if I want the light coming from that side, and I'm using some of the lines underneath as like it's kind of a guide to how the overall lighting setup is gonna be. So I think that's kind of okay. I think that's good for a first pass. What do I need to do now? I'm thinking, everyone, I'm thinking. Hold on. The lights come from this side. That wouldn't all be. Draw steam coming off the burnt side. Okay. How would you draw steam coming off someone? I'm gonna say to do that. Well, let's just have a normal layer first, just to get it down what we're looking for. And if there's steam, we're getting out of the mask, and we're just gonna. Freaking. But the thing with this now, it's just gonna be. Just me kind of planning the shape. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to mask up the layers as well for the steam. And I'm going to then get rid of the lines underneath. Or mask it up and get rid of everything underneath. Okay, something like that. But this is just now just to mark it off for what I want it to be. Okay, this is just to fix up the edges. And I just want to fix up the edges just so I can get to the point where I like how it looks. I think that'll do. Okay, that's the first dark. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create a clipping mask with it. So the shape now everything I put in is going to be over the shadows here. And I noticed in the comics in Invincible, what they really do, which I like, they do this interesting thing where... Give me a sec. They'll have a color and they just do really nice bounce light. I will show you now. So we'll put this on a soft light. Don't want it to be hard, soft light. And then on this side, just take this brush. And you just see that bit there, yeah? This is me doing like a reflected light from the shadows. He's from Poland. Polish Plum. Polish Plum sounds like a Polish name. My Instagram, my phone's gonna die. So, anyone on Instagram, come join me on TikTok if you like. We're still going. So as you can see, I'm using this purple. No, this purple. I'm just using this color here. Just to add it on. I think I might change this to a blue. Because the other one I did, it was like in the sky. It had that sky background. I think I might try and keep it all the same. I'm not sure yet. How long we got? 1 hour 22. Yeah, there we go. So this is just some bounce light, just into the shadows from the skin and all the madness that's happening. So I'm using that just to add a bit of a bounce light onto that side. Now I'm thinking... What am I thinking? I'm thinking I might change this because this is where she blasted him. I think I might add like that purple color. Where is it? Outside. I want more saturation, definitely. In Invincible, what is the girl's superhero name? I just realized I don't even know it. Oh, Adam Eve. That's what it is. It's not the best of superhero names. that. And then now I'm just going to do a multiply, but with this airbrush, because we're still trying to go with the same kind of vibe. But I increase the brush size. Now what I'm going to do, just going to try and mask out certain bits. And I'm going to airbrush some more shading. Get rid of all of this, get rid of all of this. Get rid of the edges there. Okay, cool. So this multiply, I want it to be a kind of a purpley. Boom. Now when you do this, watch, just boom. Alright, so now I'm just going to use this just to add just shadows in different bits. You know what? I'm going to lasso tool all of it. Not all of it. But I'm just going to lasso tool certain areas. Just to add it. Because I think the striations, it just needs a bit more variety. So let's see. Let's see what that does. I don't mind it, everyone. I don't mind it. And then just a bit more just to get that underside of that arm there. Just really fill that out. Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing now. This first bit, I'm just doing this to just add a little bit to the edges, just to make the muscles separated. Just a little bit. And I'm going to knock all of it back as well, a little bit, just to make it blend in. Sometimes I notice when you lower the opacity of layers, it can just make everything kind of come together. So just under there, just a bit, bam. So just a little bit. See how that makes it kind of come together a little bit? Get everything just under here. And this pinch point here, this just to be darker there. That's one thing I don't want to do this. I don't want to zoom in. And I know me, I'm just going to start rendering. And then 12 years are going by. And I haven't really learned anything from it. So with this, we're just doing little variations. I don't like the multiply. Funny fact, I want it to change color. Where is it? Because I feel like the multiply in his skin. Oh, and this is a bit too much. Turn that down a little bit more. Sometimes the key is just to play around with layers and colors. You can get all kinds of interesting stuff going on. So just adding more multiply to it, but not too much. I don't want it to be too strong in this blue. No. So now I'm just on the slider. I'm just trying to pick the right color. Thanks. I'm thinking maybe a more pinky shadow. I think that works. More saturated, less. Oh, TikTok saying I'm inactive. Hold on. Cool. Yeah, I think that works. Does that work better? More of a pink than a blue? I think it does. I think it does, yeah. Now I'm thinking I want to add. I'm going to add a rim light on the other side. We're going to use a color dodge layer for this. And let's give him a strong yellow, let's say. You're up in the sky, fighting Viltrumites and living his best life, so... This one again, we're going to go straight back to the hard pen pressure one. And now, is that too bright? Possibly too bright, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. No rush. Okay, I think that, yeah, I'm happy with that. It's just such a little minor thing, but I think it just adds some depth and more to the form, I think. Push that back a bit there. Let's just turn it down. I think it's too... There we go. It was a bit too punchy. I didn't like how much it was hitting on the form. Honestly. Just for the eye. Just a little bit of lightness to the teeth there as well. Now we're going for a multiply. We're going to use this red. And we're just going to use it to just go deeper into the muscles. I don't want to be crazy with it, but I just want it just enough to give it a bit more depth and separation. Especially in like the nooks and cranny bits where light's not really hitting it that much. See, and I just want to make it that separation between the skin just to show that it's like he's really torn up. Ooh. And just to, I think just to be on the edge of this bounce light as well, just to be like I don't know, I just noticed when it comes to certain highlights, the edge, you get like a darker tone. Oh. The lag. And even though like now, I think it's too dark, it's really easy because the thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to push it back. Because then now, as I go through it, there we go. The thing I like about this, I'm not even trying to make it perfect. Because I know as long as it wraps around the different forms I put down or the muscles, it's just going to look okay. Okay, so now... Okay. Now I'm just using this dark to just kind of really differentiate differences in the muscle. Thanks for the likes, people. So even some of the lines, they're not really that in depth. I'm not looking super into it or trying to be super close. I'm just trying to get just the striations down. And the thing is, as long as it reads like when it's zoomed out, or the overall image reads. Don't get bogged down in the details too much. Because after a certain point, the details don't really matter. Okay, so now we're just gonna, I'm gonna turn down that layer a little bit. Just because I don't want the darks to overpower it. So. Just a little bit. I'm trying to find the zone. I think that's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Now, on top of, back where I had this with the clipping mask on the light side, so the multiply layer originally, then the clipping mask for this bounce light. On top of this, I'm going to add another clipping mask to it. How do I get to join the clipping mask? Hold on. How do I don't know how to add this on. Hold on. Give me a sec. Hold on. Drag it there. Boom. So sometimes you just add it to the clipping mask and then you throw it over. This one, I'm just going to do a slightly darker line, something in between this pink and this one here, but darker. So I'm looking at it, looking at it, looking at it, looking at it. I want something darker and slightly less saturated. And then now, just to go in between, bigger brush. Is this on a normal layer? Normal layer, we'll see. Just doing this line here. I think this is gonna help. Let me see if this works. I think this should work. I don't know if it will work, but it should work. Yeah, and now let's see the face. But what I'm going to do with this one, and I can tell, I'm going to push it back, because I think it does, it's okay, but I'm thinking it's doing too much. Every part of me wants to render it up and start like going over all the forms, but we're not doing that today. Quick, nice, shell shady style. That's what we're going for. the thing is, cause this is just gonna be a multiply. I'm not really that 100% bothered about. I'm not really bothered about the color either. I'm just really focused on the shape of it. Because if the shape's okay, the only thing that really matters is how I'm gonna break it down. I like this on the mustache though. Okay, now look at this. It's a normal layer. Just drop it right down. You see how that makes a difference? So if I turn it off and on, boom, 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 boom. Alright, we're almost coming up to the 2-hour mark. So now that I like it, and it's all looking alright, I'm going to change the background to the blue. Just be like, he's in the sky. What's happening, Star Bro? And then just wanted to add the blue to the back. Yeah, that's cool. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to add a new layer on top of all of this. It's going to be highlights. So I'm going to set it on overlay. I want it to be like a yellowy. We're in the sun, it's during the day. So like a yellowy color here. And then now, just little highlights. Oh, wait, I've still got the selection. Do I? No? Alright, there we go. Okay. I won't say highlights, but like lighter colors to a degree. And then now, maybe bigger brush. This isn't really highlights, but this is just to add a lighter tone. So now I'm just using this to just, not even to really paint, but again, I'm just using it to map it out. Because then when it's mapped out, I'm going to drop it into another color. let's see. Again, nothing crazy, just to lower the opacity. It doesn't look like much, but like when I turn it on and off, you see that little difference there? That's what I was going for. Now I'm going to put it in the muscles as well. Got 9 minutes left. It's enough time on the clock. But this is again just to add some lights to it and add some variation. Thanks for the follows and everyone who's come. It's been a good day. I'm going to try and go live every single day. I did it for a bit, but then like life kind of got to me. But I want to be consistent because I like talking. I like talking about it. It makes me kind of think about it more as a process. And it makes me think if you're watching, maybe you'll get something from it. I don't know what you could, but possibly something. Trying to think, what else do I need? How long have we got? I'm gonna do 8 more minutes. What can I even do? See, for me, yeah, part of me saying for this time, I would want to just paint over everything and just push it as much as I can. But seeing how that's not what we're doing and we're just trying to get something quick. Well, not quick, but like we're working on the speed. That's what I'm really going for. Let's see what darken color does. Ooh. So yeah, just add in. Just adding some blood and some scars for him now. Even give him some blood coming out of the ears, why not? I think that's good, but I want to add it to the muscles as well, just to make it seem like he's really having a rough time of it. think now just highlights. No, you know what I don't like? I want his nose to have some shade. His nose should have some more color to it. Ah, crap. But now, because I've kind of lost touch of the layers, which is not good, you shouldn't do it. I am kind of just painting over everything now. Well, I'm just picking out the colors just because to constantly flip between the layers, it's long. I don't really need to, I don't feel like I need to do that now. So I'm still going for the shell shady look. But right now I'm just picking on one layer all the colors that I've got already. And it's just, I think at this point it's just neatening up all the edges. Yeah, that's it. So now that's all I'm pretty much doing. I'm just going to go around. And I'm just pushing and pulling different colors. But I'm trying to do it without losing the shell shade, this, I can't speak, the cell shading vibe. I'm trying to keep that while just tightening it just a little bit. So we're gonna have, how long? We've got 2 minutes of 2 minutes tightening, 2 minutes tightening. I'm calling time. But I think, oh wait, hold on, I forgot what I wanted to do. His scar needs to be more of like a purpley red. So that again, just gonna pick, I think maybe a soft light. Jolas, thanks for sharing the live. And then this is just a soft light because I just want to hint just for the scar, because it was shaded, but it just didn't have enough. Just didn't have enough rawness in it, and I think especially for the state of him, yeah. See, it'll come out just a little bit more under the mouth. I just want a darker color here. Just a, ooh, not that, not that. I want a soft light still. Don't like that. So on a normal layer, just a bit darker. Yeah, there we go. Then under here, a bit darker because his moustache is there. Darker color there. Now I'm literally just picking up and dropping colors from the piece. So I don't know if does this still count as shell shading, or am I just rendering it up? I don't know. Let me know if this counts. I think it counts. And then, oh. This darker one is just to separate things just a little bit here. Because I think it's all a bit too connected. You want a bit more variety in the shadows. See, just using a small brush because I want it to just be, make sure that it's separated. And let's see. I was about to say, if the light's coming from this side, this whole area needs to be darkened just a bit. There we go. And then boom. So what I'm gonna do now, 2 hours, I'm chill. I'm just gonna do some adjustment layers now. So we go for levels first. That's good. Now selective color, because I don't like the yellows. I think the yellows are doing a bit too much. Yellows are doing way too much. So what I'm gonna do, go to yellows. I'm just gonna pull it back just a bit, and I'm gonna add a bit of dark to it. Add a bit more black to the whites as well. Even a bit less yellow to the whites. Just because I want it to blend in. I want the reds to be a lot more punchy. So about there. Also take out a bit of the black. Doesn't need to be that. Yeah, there we go. The blacks, I want them to have a bit of magenta in them. Yeah, so if we turn that off and on, look at that. Doesn't look crazy, but it just harmonizes it a bit. It kind of pulls all the colors together. And then I'm going to add a curve because I like curves. That's what she said. But curves is kind of good. It just, I don't know. I notice it just does something to it. Hold on, I can't move it. There we go. I feel like a curved layer, it seems like that's the one that's pushing my laptop to death. So let's just curve down the lights a bit. And curve down that. The thing I like about curves, you can just then put it on different layers and you can have weird effects. I don't want it to lighten. Soft light. No. I'll say soft light. But then lower it down. And then that's it. I am done. Thank you all for coming. It's great. I'm going to check out your app. Definitely. I'm glad that we figured out the audio because I was getting on my nerves. But for today, thanks everyone. And I'll see you lot on the next one. How do I end this? How do I end this, everyone? How do I end this? Okay. All right, bye. Oh, alas, I'm done. This is the thing. Yeah, it's been a good time. For 2 hours. I think I'm getting better. DM me about what the app is, and then I'll use the web browser. And if it's there on the web thing, I'll use it to do something else. I'll use it to do something tomorrow. All right, so just DM me that, and yeah, have a good night, everyone, or a good day. Everything and everyone. Peace.